That's right, global African supremacy. That gas, baby. Got to have that gas if you're gonna make it move. That's right, global African supremacy. That gas, baby. Got to have that gas.
Everybody all right?
You gonna make it move. Uh-oh.
Everybody all right?
Uh-oh. It's about that time. It's about that time, y'all.
Everybody all right? Everybody all right?
All right, global African supremacy. Uh-oh. I got to that gas, baby. Uh-oh. I got to her. Got to have that gas. Look at it. Got to her. You gonna make it move. Somebody got to get hurt. Where we at? That's right. Global African supremacy. Come on in. That gas. Come on in, family. Got to have that gas. I got to her. You gonna make it move. That's right, global. A lot of niggas' grandmas are Eastern stars. Well, I love your grandmama. But we waking grandmamas up too. We waking grandmamas up too. We love your grandmacy. You the citadel.
This ain't no agitated speeches. I pray the truth reaches. The wars we are rich, we ain't no poor righteous teachers. We a royal priesthood. I wish a creek would try to label us destitute. We are resolute for years. I would listen how they undermine the prophet, but now I'm here to challenge all the lies and the gossip. We only want the truth with proof, nothing less. Been through the dismal crypts and I passed every test. Been to the lowest depth, on my way to the highest height. Ain't nothing you can do to stop this rain or this fight. Only thing you can do is give up the prophet and save your soul. And know for sure I got it. From the plane of soul I get my nourishment. From the ether plane where I dwell at. I'm on higher, lower than the worm. Where hell at? Now run, tell that.
That's right,
y'all been doubting the prophet way too long.
Can you hear me?
That gas,
and I can't stand y'all that hate
it. Got to have that gas.
Try to bury the prophet. Oh, yes they did. Well, guess what? We back. Yeah.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. Can you hear me? Check
yeah.
1 2, check 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yo, you thought it was over. You thought it was over. It's never over. It's never over. You thought it was over. You thought it was over. Truth don't die, pass away. It's never over. You thought it was over. You thought it was over. You thought it was over. It's never over. You thought it was over. You thought it was over. Truth don't die, pass away. It's never over.
What it do, family?
It's never over.
They got a shadow ban me. I'ma tell the truth.
Never.
I'ma tell the truth. Family, welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. I am your host, Brother Taharkabey. Can you hear me? How do I sound? The doctor, I went to see the doctor, and the doctor said, GS, you know what, GS, I like how you sound, but if you do this and switch this around, you'll sound just a little bit more better. I said, Doc, stop playing, Doc. One moment. I'm good? Everybody all right? So let me see what's going on real quick, family. Pause for the cause real quick. Pause for the cause. Something going on, boy. Had to go check. Got to go check the perimeter. That's right. Got the surrounded around the premises. That's right. That's right. When you in the studio, you got to be right. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, family, they was going ham. Anyway, I don't know what they was going ham for, but I tell you what, they got something for you. They got something for you. Act up if you want to. They got something for you. That's right. So listen, family, I watched the debate. Do you notice one thing about the presidential debate? Family, did anybody here, Takaya say she watched the debate. Did anybody hear anything about reparations? This is what this show is about tonight. The show tonight is about why is everybody capping, they lowballing Biden, trying to big up Trump, but you don't hear any of them in the news or in their debate to even give a hint to reparations. In fact, they already said they're not doing that. And so when you see people trying to downplay one side and big up the other side, you already know that they're getting a stipend, they're getting a check, family. This is, listen. This is the part people don't like. Let me check this out. Family. Let me tell you one problem I have, man, is that one of the main problems that I have right now is one of the main problems that I have with us as a people, many of us do not like raw truth. You know what I'm saying? I felt some type of way today because, and I'm going to tell y'all about it. Y'all my friends, right? Can I tell y'all about it? I tell y'all about it today. So I'm doing a show, and I tell a brother, and I'm not going to say no names because I felt some type of way. I tell the brother that I was doing a show. I'm going on tour, and nevertheless. And so, and because he's in the ATL, you know what I mean? He's like, I could get you a venue in the ATL. And y'all might have heard me say, hit me up. And, you know, we can get it done. I don't need someone to get me something in the ATL when I got some, I got people in the ATL. I go to the ATL myself. But anyway, it went to the point where as though, you know, I know Red Pill and Blue Pill is in the ATL. And I said, he said that he was friends with them. I said, well, maybe, you know, maybe we can do something, you know what I mean, side by side. I said, but I'm not going to hold back. I say it is what it is. I say I know they kind of a little bit mad because I talked about them going up on Quartz Mountain, you know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I'm sharing it with you. I feel some type of way because we have a problem with raw truth. And dealing with this topic right here, I'm going to be talking about raw truth, you know what I mean, that we don't want to accept for whatever reason. But anyway, and so the brother literally got back to me and said, oh, I just realized that you attacked my brothers. And now, I got to speak on this because I know they're going to be watching. I know they're watching, and I'm going to say it right here, since this is how we communicate now. Family, if a brother put on a hat like the Pope that imitates a religious or leadership headgear of ancient Kemet, and if I make fun of it, don't be mad at me. Be mad at the brother that chose to dress like the Pope for sensationalism. Don't be mad at me because I say, why is they talking about there's power in the mountain, the Quartz Mountain, and like I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe that. I'm not saying that crystals do not have properties to it, but I'm saying that you are the power. I'm saying that you have the energy. I'm saying that you have all the light. I'm saying that you have everything that you need to achieve whatever you want to achieve. I'm not putting that on no mountain. I'm not putting that on no crystal. I'm not putting that on nothing. These things are symbolic, and I know some people need these symbolism to try to reach other places, but I'm the type of person, if I'm not going to tell you meet me on a mountain because the mountain is on fire this week. and we going to be blessed. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to tell you cut up a goat and the goat is going to heal us. I'm not doing that. You follow me? And so at the end of the day, the brother's very sensitive, super angry. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with this situation. You know what I mean? These people are caping and capping for Biden, and some is caping and, but most of them are caping and capping for Trump. But that don't bother me one way or the other. Anyone who win, they are two wings of the same bird. They are flying in the same direction. They just got different methodologies of getting there. They're going to the same destination. They just have different methodologies of getting there. And so when I'm looking at people like Lord Abba, he's sitting up there, he actually debated somebody. Lord have mercy. He actually debated somebody recently that Trump, somebody was talking about Trump, and I think he was going for Biden. He actually debated on, like, what type of slave has been produced? What type of slave has been produced that we sit around and debate about one wing is better than the other? What type of slave have they produced? This is insane to me. And then you got, you know what I mean, the ADOS. They're browbeating the Democrats. All of them browbeat the Democrats as if the Republicans don't have the same agenda, just a different methodology of achieving it. But I be the bad guy. Listen, I am of the thought that at the end of the day, man, listen, you ain't getting no reparations. No, let me tell you something. No government. For one thing, you for those groups, and I'm not talking about the Morris World TV citizens. We are on the bleachers watching this thing play out because it's pretty much goofy. I mean, and if you try to step in and tell people how to move on it, they're just gonna they'll be trying to take you out. You know what I mean? They definitely try to take you out. I know what I'm doing. I got to go up there and beg them. They're like, nah, we ain't got to beg them for nothing. Yeah, you do. You gotta beg them. Come on, let's organize ourselves. Let's build something for ourselves, and then let's get our numbers together. And then we say, listen, if you don't do this, then this is what's going down. Why don't we build quietly for 5 years? What about that? Nah, they owe us. And then I become the bad guy because I say, let's really build something for us. Let's just really build something for us. Let's make ourselves, listen, people cry about the Hispanics or the Mexicans or whatever, right? But when you really look at it, their numbers have increased, but it really don't matter their numbers in the United States. What really matter with them is that they have a cohesive unit and a cohesive thought. And it doesn't matter if they're Guatemalan. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're Mexican. It doesn't matter if they're El Salvadorian. It doesn't even matter to them. What matters to them is that they have an agenda and they need it to be met. And if it's not met, then they have numbers to offset some things. Most people that's calling these people illegal aliens, man, they got enough people that are legal right now to affect votes. They are replacing you. They got enough people right now that they can affect votes. Are y'all with me? Press 7 if you with me. The Hispanics, if you will, or the people who have crossed the border 20 years ago have had children. 30 years ago have had children. Why do you think they busting them into Chicago? Why? Because the economy is going to shift. You're going to move out, they're going to move in. You're going to move out, they're going to move in. And they're not the problem. Family, don't believe that the Mexican or the person across the border is the problem. Don't believe that. They're not the problem. Any human being in their right mind who don't have resources under their feet will go to a place where the resources are more abundant. That's just human nature. That has nothing to do with an individual trying to take something from you. That's just human nature. If you lived in a territory where it was abundantly filled with strawberries, lemons, and pears and peaches, and then one day they were all gone, you're going to migrate to somewhere where it's more abundant. That's just human nature. They try to make that a white supremacist thing. They try to make that a racist thing. No. That's just human nature. But the plot thickens when they try to convince you that they're going to take your jobs, and when they are at the helm and letting the gates open. They are the ones that are orchestrating it. You see what I'm saying? See, Biden is the one that orchestrating it at the border. Of course. And then Trump plays the other side. I'm going to put up a wall. Ain't no wall going up. It's the good cop, bad cop on a massive scale. And everybody falling for the okie doke. And while we, the one that's being pushed out, the one that suffer the most, we do not even pay attention and say, hold up, we better get ourselves together and do something for ourselves. We better get ourselves together so we can defend ourselves. If move ever happened like it happened in Philly, we better be ready to defend ourselves. We better get ourselves together. If Tulsa ever happened, we better get ourselves together. If they cut the water off, we can't drink. We can't give our children no water. We better do something for ourselves. Listen, people will get mad at me with this broadcast because I said the title of it is No Reparations. Family, having a real conversation, it may hurt some people's feelings. But let me tell you something. When I say no reparations, now what? Let's say hypothetically, if you believe that you're going to achieve reparations, let's do a hypothetical. Let's say you don't get reparations. Then what? Because see, that's what the oppressor think of. The oppressor do not think like, okay, I'm going to give you reparations just because you ask for it. No, the oppressors say, if I don't, what will happen? And one thing for sure and two things for certain. When you're talking about Japanese getting reparations, you know that the Japanese went toe-to-toe. And even though the Japanese American was on the American side, that don't mean that they ain't got connections on the other side. So they understand that threat. The European Jew got reparations. And you know that they control many of the banks, many of the commerce, many of the economics that flows through the United States of America, especially entertainment. And they have for quite some time, even right after the Holocaust. They got leverage. We haven't developed any leverage. Let's be real. We haven't developed any leverage. So why do we think that we're going to, that remind me of the Moorish scam, where, you know what I mean, the fake Moorish scam, where you're going to sign these papers and you're going to give these papers and you're going to make yourself change your status, and now you bulletproof and police ain't going to mess with you. That reminds me of that scam. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden you are Moor, and now they say, oh, that's a Moor. Oh, put the bullet back in the gun. They have people believe in this foolishness. But it's the same thing with this reparations thing. That all of a sudden now you're going to tell them that they owe you and they're going to pay you. Come on, family. You know it don't work like that. You know it don't work like that. I mean, you know it don't work like that. Like we ain't in our senses right now. You know it don't work like that. It never worked like that. There is not a group of people on the planet Earth that have compensated another people that is disorganized. They have never compensated another people. In fact, most Europeans, I'm going to jump out there. All Europeans that have oppressed the people have not. And I'm talking about oppressive Europeans have not. Never offer compensation without the other part, the other side having some leverage. Never. Let's keep it 1,000. The other side have to have some leverage. What leverage do FBA have? What leverage do ADOS have? What leverage do Freedman have? What leverage do we have? Include me. What leverage do we have? So that's why you can't expect reparations. You can't expect reparations. So now what's the alternative? I want to know what happens when they flat out deny. They already said they're not doing it. They already said they're not doing it. They say they can study it, but they ain't doing it. Now what? What happens now? See, they already predicted what's going to happen. We just going to keep on sending in paper. We might do some marches. We might do some rallies. We might do some
That's
things.
right, global African supremacy. That gas, baby.
Anyway.
Got to have that gas if you going to make it move.
You got to have the gas if you going to make it move, family. You got to have that gas, family. You got to be ready to rock and roll. If you're not ready to rock and roll, there is no one on the planet Earth that will take you serious. And I'm not, and trust me on this one, I'm definitely not saying, I think it's all different alternatives to physical violence and all that type of stuff. I'm just saying the first step would be trying to unify for a common cause. You got the ADOS saying one thing. You got the FBA saying one thing. You got the regular everyday black people saying another thing. You got the and all of it. Let's be clear. Most of this stuff ain't nothing but internet based. This stuff ain't nothing but internet based. It's just a big old hustle, family. So anyway, did y'all catch the debate tonight, family? Did y'all catch the debate tonight? Do y'all notice that the debate? They talked about heroin. I mean, they talk about opioids crisis. Family, if you are from Baltimore, anybody in here from Baltimore? If you're from Baltimore, the opioid crisis is relative to heroin, dope fiend, getting high. You know what I mean? Getting high. Family, here in Baltimore, I know when I was young, and when I'm talking about young, I'm talking about in the late 80s, you had young guys strung out on heroin. I mean, it's been bad for a long time. You know what I mean? In fact, it was worse then than it is now. It was bad. You know what I mean? They was locking people up. They used to have what they call in Baltimore dope lines. Anybody from Baltimore would know what I'm talking about. They used to have dope lines, right? When I first seen it, I was blown away. I was like, what in the world? Where they going at over there? They had a literal line down the street coming out of an alley. And they had one on the corner, and they had a dude on another corner, and somebody was in the alley. And they used to call it, you could hear the dude down the street say, hitting in the hole, got testers. And they would have lines. I mean, you would see people running. Anybody from Baltimore in here? I mean, see people running. Anybody seen The Wire? That was a real depiction. If anybody ever seen The Wire, that was a real depiction, real talk. People running. Now, years later, you will actually see the effects. You know what I mean? I'm talking about people falling out, people nodding all over the place. I mean, just really bad. Our people suffered. I mean, bad. And then if you ever seen somebody get sick, you know what I'm saying? If you ever seen somebody get sick, you know, it's the worst thing that you could ever witness. That they be vomiting, and I'm gonna be graphic. They be vomiting green. They even be defecating on themselves, and I mean, it's bad. They be in like excruciating pain. I mean, excruciating pain. I watched quite a few of them go through it. I mean, just bad. Nevertheless, what would happen is the Europeans would come from outside the city, what would be Anne Arundel County, Harford County, and whatever is that, Columbia, I think that's Howard County. And they would come in and they would get their stuff and then head back out. So, and that was the crack era. Now, what would happen is after the crack era, a lot of our people then suffered with addiction and jail and petty crime and all of that. And it seemed like the crack era kind of faded on its own. You know what I mean? It had such a bad stigma to it. And then the next thing would be the pill era. But let me bring it up to speed a little bit. The heroin never went nowhere. But what would happen is it would shift. It would shift to, you would go into areas, then you would start to see massive numbers of Europeans. Massive numbers. If you stayed in the city long enough, like I work in and out the city. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm outside. I'm literally outside. So I could watch somebody that will pull up European, lily white European from way out in the middle of nowhere, chasing a brother into the hood, and you give it about 3-4 months. Good goodness gracious, man, they don't. Listen, I gotta tell it to you real. This is talking about the debate too. They don't get high well. Getting high ain't a good thing for nobody. But when they get high, they literally look like they did. I'm telling you. Now, our people be looking rough on the rough side too. But when they go, it looks 1,200 times even crazier. It's all crazy, right? But when that started happening, that's when they started putting them methadone clinics everywhere. They started putting them needle places everywhere. Even the churches in Baltimore would allow needle programs. They would allow methadone programs even in churches, right? But a lot of the people that was in those lines was Europeans. So the moment that the Europeans started getting addicted, they called it a crisis. So in this debate tonight, one of the topics was the opioid crisis. They are on a mission to save them. They on a mission to save them. They're not on a mission to save you. And anybody that's talking about Trump, they're not on a mission to save you. They're on a mission to save them. And I mean, I'm sorry to tell you, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. You're endorsing someone that only wants your vote, but ain't gonna return you anything. In the debate tonight, they started talking about, they brought up that Trump gave money to the HBCUs, that he gave that Biden, that black people suffered under Biden. And then Trump said he gave money to the HBCUs, am I right? And he made that a big highlight. I mean, he made that a big highlight. But family, from Morris World TV, we know why he gave money to the HBCUs. Why did he give money to the HBCUs? Because that's where they produce those who are going to ultimately reel us all in. That's where they produce the worker. That's where they produce the worker. That's where they produce all of these people that learn the quote-unquote black talking points, that learn the American system and the African American quote-unquote talking points. And they are the fishermen for them. So why wouldn't it? See, this is why we so rocked to sleep. Because we don't realize when one say, I gave money to the HBCUs more than anybody. Of course you did. We learned that from the Freedman guy that founded Howard University and other universities, that they were producing a new slave. So they freed slaves and then re-enslaved them by the way of producing them to produce for them. That's what the evidence show. So when one said, I gave to the HBCUs, of course you would. That is your human manufacturing plant to work for you. So of course you would. But I think we don't understand that. And people who have graduated from HBCUs, they might take offense to this. But if you haven't taken your information and your scholarship and was in the system and worked around and outside the system for your people, then yeah, you are a part of the problem. Because at the end of the day, you are supposed to take your education like any other group of people do and not contributed 1,000% into the system in which they have trained you to go to. You are supposed to be in the system and draw out of the system and help your people. That's what Chinese people do. That's what Italian people do. That's what all groups of people of different nationalities do when they come and get education from America. But not us. We brag about being a doctor, and then we move away from the problems and the issues and the struggle. We brag about being a scientist, or we brag about these things. You see what I'm saying? But that's what these HBCUs are all about. So it doesn't make a difference if you go to a HBCU or if you go to an Ivy League college. If you don't have the mindset that you are going to give some of that back for the struggle of your people, but we think we ain't, there's not a systematic oppression anymore. If you think it's not systematic oppression anymore, listen. A lot of our people, right? They have been so successful in what they consider to be success monetarily. They don't even know what struggle is no more. It is what it is. They've been so successful. Their bank account has been so full that they feel as though that they do not have to deal with oppression no more because they can't feel it. They can't feel it. They are immune to it now because they have been removed, and so now they on the outside. It's like moist lips living in a gated community protected by the feds and claiming that they're grassroots. Everywhere you go, you got to go with security. Everywhere you go, you got to go with protection, because you know that if someone finds out who you really are and the jig is up, ain't no telling what might happen. Ain't no telling what might happen. But we are so docile as a people, and that family got to face it. Many of our people are so docile that we in the era now, nobody cares about 6ix9ine snitching. Nobody cares if this person show every sign that they're infiltrating. Nobody cares that this person showing every sign that they're grifting and that they're doing nothing for real. Nobody. It's to the point where it's a small few. It's us. It's a small few that really, really cares. Because at the end of the day, the person that is detached, he already got his reparations. He already got it. And he's getting it daily. He's getting the payoff from them people for pushing that dumb propaganda. And he's getting the payoff from the grifting that he's doing. He already got it. So anything that these people do on this screen, they just going to work. It's a part of their job. You take Lord Abba. Now, I don't think Lord Abba is a typical grifter. However, I do believe that Lord Abba, if given the chance where people would support him financially for his ideals as a freedman, I'm of the thought that he's all in. He's going to take that check and produce any type of foolishness he can. I truly believe that. Recently, since I've done my videos, he then turned back to being a Moor now. He went from debating about Freedman one day, and then he went to debating a Hebrew guy about Moabites and Israelites. I said, goodness gracious. I said, this guy's really confused. But whatever pay the bills. Whatever pay the bills with these people. You know what I mean? Whatever pay the bills. Fam, I want to share a few things with you real quick. You know what I mean? And my story is the same, family. These are two wings of the same bird. And so FBA, ADOS, and Freedman, they all have the same talking points. Each and every one of them have the same talking points. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? That they have the same talking points? Huh? Let me look up something. I mean, do y'all understand what I'm saying? There is no different talking points. So even they beef might be manufactured. You know what I mean? Because they all saying the same exact thing. Each and every one of them. Each and every one of them. Look. Argue all you want. The flight plan does not change. And this a fact. This a fact. And so when you look at these podcasters arguing for Trump, if you argue with them, you're going to look just like a fool with them. Like, I would never get in an argument that Trump is better than Biden or that Biden is better than Trump. You can't even get me in that type of argument because I don't care. I know that we can only solve our problem, and we presenting our problem to someone in the state that we in is not going to solve our problem. The state that we in right now, we got a long ways to go. We got a long ways to go, family. And it's sad to admit it. You know what I'm saying? I want my bread too. But we got a long ways to go when you consider what's going on in this world. We got a long ways to go. Like, we think that, like, many of our people really think that this election stuff and all these things that be happening around election, all of these unlived things going on, finding children transported in trucks, and strange stories. Strange stories happening. All throughout the year, we hear things, but during the election season, they turn it up a notch. Every single time. But anyway, let me share a few things with you about this. What's up, Tali? Let me share a few things with you about this this debate, family. Let me share a few things with you. So, Trump, allegedly, according to them, people be thinking that things be getting leaked out. Family, ain't nothing be getting leaked out. It says that he put out his debate talking topics, or somebody put them out. You know what I mean? But why I grabbed them is for a whole different reason. And the reason is what I said earlier. Because his talking topics has nothing to do with us. The only time he had a talking topic about us, him and Biden, was Biden is losing quote unquote black support and Trump is gaining black support. That Trump made contributions to the HBCU and that Biden has done nothing. That was the talking points. Welfare talking points. That's all it was. Welfare talking points. You know what I mean? But anyway, it said that under my administration, CO2 emissions, they talking about CO2 emissions. And you got people caping for Trump. They up there talking about CO2 emissions. I know that's important. But these are the same reparationists. Understand what I'm saying? The people that call themselves reparationists, are you really concerned about CO2 emissions? Or are you concerned about rape? Why are you caping? Why are you caping for Trump, but he's not caping for you? That's one of the signs that the $23 million that Trump used for propaganda, somebody might be getting their palms greased. Let me slide down for a second. In the election, the third topic that they talked about was immigration. And the reason why I put this up first, immigration. They says the third topic of the debate is immigration. Unlike abortion, this is Trump's strong point. Family, family, family. If immigration is Trump's strong point, what is the main talking points of FBA, 80S, and Freedman? It's immigration, identity, and people trying to take your space. If that is Trump's main tough, tight talking points, who do you think these people are caping for? Who do you think they are caping for? Who do you think they're caping for? If Trump's strongest point is immigration, and all you hear from FBA, from ADOS, and Freedman is that these people are taking from us. When in fact, Trump even said that tonight, that they're taking the black people jobs. Family, they doing jobs that most of us ain't gonna do. It's just what it is. And what stops us? Like, nobody is hiring Mexicans or someone who can't speak English over someone that can speak English. I think that's a myth. I think that's a real myth. I don't think that's scientific. I think it's plenty work out here. In fact, I think if you're going to work for somebody, you might have a problem if you don't have the education in the field. But in reality, if you want to go, if you want to go and throw some watermelons, let me tell you something. Down the Eastern Shore here in Baltimore, anybody can show up and throw watermelons. Real talk. Real talk. I like that. I like that, Amos. What are black jobs? But that's what he said. That's what Trump said tonight. If you want to go buy some lawnmowers, some zero-turn lawnmowers, and go and cut grass, by all means you can do it. They playing the race card. They're playing the race card, and this race card is an illusion. This race card is an artificial construct created in order to make us feel some type of way. To make us feel some type of way and feel that Trump is going to come to our rescue. He's not coming to the rescue. He's not coming to the rescue because at the end of the day, Trump already said what he's going to do. He already said what people don't pay attention to. You know what he said? Trump is going to eliminate white racism. Trump uses a break from criminal trial to rant about anti-white racism. Trump is vowing to crush anti-white racism if he wins election. You know what that mean? You know what that mean? You know what that mean, right? That mean his focus is to criminalize those who point out the European oppression and inconsistent behavior as it relates to Europeans demonstrating or saying out their mouth that they're about peace and they're about progress with the quote-unquote races, but behind closed doors, they have means to crush any people outside of the Europeans. This is Trump's agenda. He says it publicly. Just because Trump can cater to letting out Kodak Black, why do we think Trump freeing Kodak Black is a big up? Kodak Black is a cancer to our community. Just because Kanye West can go to the White House, he's a cancer to our community. Because he let out Lil Wayne, he's a cancer to our community. Lil Wayne look like the Night of the Living Dead. He's not something that I want my child to aspire to be. I don't want my Taji to aspire to be a Lil Wayne. Now I like his hip hop. Don't get me twisted. I like Kodak Black hip hop, but he brings Sexy Red to the hotel. I mean, I said to the hotel. He probably did that too. But he brings Sexy Red to the White House. And that's supposed to boost. That would only boost the ignorant person confidence. That would only boost the ignorant person confidence. These people are a detriment to our community. They are a detriment. They are cancer. These are the same. This Sexy Red say something about that I can't even repeat that stuff she says. I'm just saying, family. Trump already said what he was about. You follow me? Trump already said, yes, fight anti-white racism. So all of those who are caping for Trump, and he just said this on May the 9th. So all of those that are caping for Trump, they ain't doing nothing. My bad. They ain't doing nothing slick. All they doing is making sure that he will live out the agenda for those who continue to keep us on the bottom. That's it. That's it. So who is your favorite reparationist that keep on hollering about Trump? Where they at? Who is your favorite? Who is your favorite? The FBA? They all say they voting for Trump. ADOS? They all try to chop down what's her name? Breaking Bad. She wore a Trump hat one time, talking about it was a joke. These people work for these people. Y'all need to get over it. Many people just need to get over it. That these people are working. They are working. In the meantime, in between time, they get hustles on the side at the expense of the same people that they influence. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Do you follow me? Trump says anti-white feeling is a problem in the U.S. How many times he got to tell y'all? How many times do he got to tell people what he's about? Biden is no better. Don't get it twisted. We're going to get into that in a minute. Man, y'all, if y'all would have seen that debate, now listen. Many debates in the past, right? Many debates in the past, I can admit, they was all boring to me. I mean, except for Obama. You know what I mean? But he was a tool also. You know what I mean? But he was interesting. He was very interesting. You know what I'm saying? But these debates are revealing. When you have people on the internet, I mean, anti-white racism. Oh, that's when those people try to blame Europeans for everything. I mean, I think that's what it is. Let me look it up. Anti-white racism. What is? Give me a second. What is? Let's look that up. See if they can define that. Anti-white racism. Let's see what they say it is. Or it's like reverse racism. Somebody say, is there such thing as anti-white racism? It says, giving the denunciation of anti-white racism has become one of the far right's hobby horses in France. Or they use it in France. Oh, they grabbed that out of France. Let me get something shorter. Well, they say it's a myth. The reverse racism card is often pulled by white people when people of color call out racism and discrimination or create. Let me see. All right. Let's look at this. Good question. Good question. So anti-white racism would be considered reverse racism. Let's see what this article says about that. Good question. Because I'm freestyling here tonight. You already know. Because I just can't understand people watching this debate and they're going to be talking about it tomorrow. They're going to be making videos and they're going to be, man, it ain't none of that stuff in our interest. Ain't none of that stuff for our interest. Let me read this real quick. It says, the reverse racism card is often pulled by white people when people of color call out racism and discrimination or create spaces for themselves that white people aren't a part of. The impulse behind reverse racism argument seems to be the desire to prove that people of color don't have it that bad. So anti-white racism is another way of saying reverse racism. And so this is what Trump is saying. It's like racism Olympics and it's patently untrue. Blade 2015. While the assumption stereotypes about white people do exist, this is considered racial prejudice, not racism. Racial prejudice refers to a set of discriminatory or derogatory attitudes based on assumption derived from perceptions about race and or skin color. Thus, racial prejudice can indeed be directed at white people. White people can dance. White people can't dance, but that's not considered racism because of the systematic relationship of power. When backed with power, prejudice results in the acts of discrimination and oppression against groups or individuals. In Canada, white people hold the cultural power due to Eurocentric modes of thinking rooted in colonialism. That's continued to reproduce the privilege of whiteness, and that's here in America too. It is the whiteness that has the power to define the terms of racializing other existence. Tim Wise explained how for white individuals. So what Trump is talking about is basically these people, and they got to be Negroes at this point. These Negroes that are caping for Trump are actually perpetuating the oppression that they claim to be fighting against. They're perpetuating it, and they just changed the words. Not they, but Trump changed the words. Anti-white feeling or anti-white racism. They just changed the words. He says, DEI destroyer in chief, somebody says in this headline, Trump vows to crush anti-white racism if he wins 2024 election. This is the article. And they're quoting him. The plan reflects where Trump policy stood at the end of his presidency in 2023. In September that year, his administration issued an executive order prohibiting racial sensitivity training by the federal government and government contractors. It says that Trump prohibited racial sensitivity training. And if you know what I mean, racial sensitivity training is what would have cautioned those that ultimately would kill George Floyd. Racial sensitivity training is that would have possibly saved Breonna's life. I say possibly, you know, the way they do things, that's a small possibility. But anyway, Trump says he prohibited racial sensitivity training. So this, my point is that those that is caping for Trump, even if they don't like Biden, how do you cape for Trump? Because his politics does not reflect your interests. How does Trump politics reflect your interests? FBA. How? Because he talks about the border? That don't reflect your interests. Listen. Let me see what else we got here. Trump says slavery reparations debate is interesting, but don't see it happening. Mitch McConnell, reparations for slavery are not a good idea. Why is FBA caping for Trump? And they claim to be a reparations organization? I mean, not even an organization. Biden privately tells lawmakers not to expect much on reparations legislation. We better start doing something for ourselves. Don't get mad at Taharkabey. Don't get mad at Taharkabey. Find out how we can work together and do something for ourselves. Because both sides could care less about your reparations that you on the internet crying and fighting each other about. Getting mad at me because I say California striving for reparations, it seemed like a horse and pony show in the game. Getting mad at me. Losing who I thought was cool with me as friends because I'm saying it's a horse and pony show. Well, in reality, that's what it is. But we should be trying to figure out what we can do. But you know what'll happen? Somebody will create another group and call themselves the descendants of black people from the planet Earth, and we want reparations. Then you'll get another group, the descendant of Africans in America, and we want reparations from the Arab slave trade. Then you have another group, and they keep making these groups. But one thing that these groups won't do, they won't sit down at the table and say, hold up. Somebody then manufactured these ideals that we are pushing, and it ain't getting us nowhere. If we truly want to do something, we got to keep them out the equation at least until you get organized. I mean, you got to keep the government out the equation. When I say they, I'm talking about the government. You got to keep them out the equation. You can't go to the government and say, we need a study on reparations. No, we got enough intelligent people. We got enough college-educated people where you should be able to form a council of people to do your own study on reparations and then present it as a legal matter in the courts. What is the begging for? What is that all about? I don't have the legal qualifications to draw up a whole case, but I'm pretty sure. You got people that have been to Ivy League schools. You got people that got that European education. It doesn't even make sense to me that people that's supposed to be so intelligent, Lord Abba gonna beat me up, and when he see me, he gonna hit me in my mouth. He done hit 20,000 people in the mouth and knocked everybody out. He on the internet punching a punching bag. But he ain't did nothing as it relates to getting his money, besides creating a 501c3 and saying that we want legislation. And then get mad at me. And then get mad at me because I point out that y'all are with the same, y'all playing the same card that they gave you. You haven't created another deck. You haven't changed the deck out. Reparations won't start with Congress. A president needs to do that. If that's the case, thank you so much, Sharky Mayat. If Mr. Coates is right, then why is people supporting these presidents that is not even having a conversation? It's not even on the agenda. It's not even
That's
on.
right, global African supremacy. That gas, baby. Got to have that gas if you're going to make it move.
All right, then, Seti. Got that gas. Anyway, if Mr. Coates says that, in which I agree, an executive order going to have to be put in place. If he says that a president needs to do that, what he's talking about in an executive order, why is people supporting these candidates that don't even support reparations? Biden supports the study. Biden supports the study. He don't support reparations. They don't pay attention to the trick language. Most of the people that claim, politicians that claim they support, European politicians that claim that they support reparations, they support the study. They never say they support reparations. I was looking today to try to find one politician of the European persuasion that supports full reparations. I'm talking about resources, money, everything. I can't find one. I only can find anybody know one. Do anybody know one that support full reparations? And probably one that exists, but I can't find one. I can't find one. And at the end of the day, if that is true, then what in the world are we talking about? We don't think it's a time where we need to do something. If any time, the time is now. We don't think there's a time that we need to do something, that we need to figure out, that we need to go silent and figure out what our next move is as a people. It's bad, man. It's bad and it's sad. It's bad and it's sad. You know what I mean? I like what Crip just said. He said they support the study because they know the study will not reveal much. Exactly. And the United States is pretty much bankrupt unless they print up some money to give to another country or make some weapons and give to another country. But for the most part, the United States is bankrupt. Unfortunately. They was talking about New NYC supports the felons. Yeah. You know what? In some states, this is the hypocrisy. This is the hypocrisy, right? In some states, if you're a felon, you can't vote. But Trump can vote for president as well as run as a convicted felon. Listen, I think convicted felons, once they do their time, I think they should be able to vote. I think they should be able to run. I think they should have their firearms reinstated and everything. Once you do your time, that's it. But hey, listen, I don't make legislation. But nevertheless, it's so double standard, it don't make sense. And people running around, Trump is the better president. Trump is the better president. Man, stop. We tripping at this point? Man, unbelievable to me, man. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. One of the points I wanted to point out was how, watch this, give me 1 second. One of the things I wanted to point out is how, let me find this real quick. I was looking at a thought earlier about race. You know what I mean? This fake construct of race that got us all messed up. You know what I mean? It's really about politics, the rich and the poor. Race is not a science. Race is an artificial construct. And so when you got people that claim that they're race baiting and all of that kind of stuff, it's an artificial construct. It's used to disillusion the public, to make you think that the issues are quote unquote black and white, to make you think that the issues are racial. There is racism. There is this thing called prejudice. It exists. It's real as anything else. But acting like in 2024 that race is going to be addressed for being like that, race is going to be addressed in these political campaigns to benefit us, you're sadly mistaken. Race will never be addressed to benefit you in these campaigns. The only thing that will benefit you, and they will try to play the race card, is that you didn't get enough and we're going to give you a little bit more. That's it. And the little bit that you get ain't nothing but some crumbs. If we don't get it ourselves, it ain't going to be got. Cryptonomics say Judge Joe Brown. Felons can vote in Maryland. Absolutely. I said some states. Judge Joe Brown supports Trump. For what, though? For what? Listen, most people that deal with politics on this national level, they are a part of the fabric and a part of the problem. They are part of the fabric and a part of the problem. The funny thing is that these internet personalities that really don't understand the politics of Trump and really don't understand the politics of Biden, and they sitting up there having these little debates. Like we ain't got nothing else better to do. Like we ain't got nothing else better to do. Biden sitting up there in the debate, if I'm not mistaken, talking about I think it was, he said something. Was it debate? He said something about Trump. Trump said that if you get COVID-19, then take a bleach shot. Like, bro, you know that man, they say that Biden, they say anything. What else? I got some notes here. What else he said? He said, Biden said he inherited 9% inflation, which is false. In January 2021, year-over-year inflation was about 1.4%. It peaked at 9.1% in June 2022. It's now down to 3.3%. During Trump's times in office, inflation rose 7.76% from January 2017 to January 2021. And the year-over-year inflation peaked at 2.9% in 2018. Listen, the reason why I read that, look at the talking points that they're talking about. Look at the talking points that they're talking about. Most people that are capping for Trump, they don't have no concept about why this inflation is important. I know, to me, I ain't tripping. This is the issues that they're talking about. They're talking about inflation. They're talking about what's going on with the environment. They're talking about things like most of these people on the internet, the FBA weird people, you tell me they really care about inflation and all that type of stuff. Like we be too busy trying to make sure we got that job if we oversleep in the morning. We be too busy trying to make sure that we can make sure we got enough money to pay for this high gas. We worrying about no inflation. Only thing we worrying about, man, gas is $3.69 now. Remember no inflation? But let these people on the internet talk. Trump he's good for inflation. Man, you capping, man. You ain't tripping about that. Our people ain't never care about stuff like that. We should at some point, but it never really benefit us. All we had to do was see what we had up in the change purse to go to the grocery store to feed the children. See how much we had up beneath the mattress to go and feed the children. That's what grandma and them did, what they grew in the backyard. And even today, we still be trying to just make sure we got what we got. Man, honor to people who support Moorish World TV. You know what I mean? Honor for those who make donations, who make that support financially, because I'm gonna tell you, it's rough out this demonstration. Especially me right now. I mean, I got new baby, I got little baby, I got 3 cases I'm working on. I mean, so it's rough out here. So you think we worrying about the inflation? Shout out to those who support Moorish World TV. You feel me? Like, you think I'm really worrying about Biden talking about some inflation? No, it's not saying I'm not feeling inflation. I'm saying my concern is not articulated through inflation as they talk about it as a talking point for president. My concern is gas prices. My concern, which is a part of inflation, my concern is bread prices. My concern is water prices. That's my concern. That's my concern. It's still inflation. I'm talking about the particulars and the intricacies of how they use it in debate form. It never bothers us. We look at, is bread $1.19 or is it $3.19? That's how our people look at stuff. And it's been like that for a long time, unless you some super highly educated and you done forgot yourself. But our people always look at bread prices. Our people always look at gas prices. Our people always look at my rent going up. That's inflation, of course, but we never articulate that through a national presidency. And these people that are arguing for one over the other, come on. They better get with their local politics. And they local politicians. If you want to talk about local inflation, only thing I'm saying, family, right, wrong, or indifference, people are out here caping. People out here caping for Trump. People out here caping for Biden. And they don't even understand the politics of either. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying, family. They're out here caping for these people. They don't understand the politics of either. And at the end of the day, both politics is to benefit the wealthy. Both politics is to benefit those who have been in power and determined that they are going to be in power till it's all over, said and done with. That's it. One of the Europeans that was in power that may have meant some good was Kennedy. But the reason why I say Kennedy is because when you understand where Kennedy came from and how they organized themselves to create the condition for a Kennedy, he was possibly the one that was going to take it from the Jesuits' hands, take it from the Masons' hands, and maybe put it in some gangsters' hands, because you know his father ran that liquor. But nevertheless, Kennedy was possibly really different. He was possibly really different. But these people that we see today, nah. Abraham Lincoln wasn't different. People thought when he freed the slave. No, he wasn't different. The only president that was possibly different was Kennedy. And they knew it. And you see what happened. But what you see now? Nah. This right here is a show. It's the rich versus the poor. Let me tell you, poor Europeans are feeling this too. Poor Europeans are feeling this too. I was telling my brother today, I said, man, these people that say things, and I use it in this context now. We have a place here in Baltimore called South Baltimore. And if you want to see, you know how they always talk about how bad we doing? I mean, if you want to see equally bad in Europeans or quote unquote white folks, I might have to take my camera down South Baltimore. I mean, listen, the only difference of that struggle in South Baltimore, European neighborhoods, Washington Boulevard, is the complexion of their skin. They got every dope fiend. They got every crackhead. They got every thief. They got every prostitute. And it's all in a certain area that is majority them. The homelessness, to everything. It looked like a European country. It looked like a European country. It's a European neighborhood. It looked like a European slum. And if you haven't seen that, then you won't understand deeply how the racial construct and the white supremacy thing is an illusion. It's an illusion, because you got poor Europeans that is suffering not on the scale of us, but you do have these pockets. You do have these pockets, and it's equal. Fam, that should go. Y'all want me to take the show on the road and go to South Baltimore? I go down there tomorrow. Do some interviews. I go down there tomorrow and do some interviews and show you that this racial thing that they be throwing at people, I'm the race baiter, white supremacy this. Man, listen, it's about the rich and the poor. It's about the ruler to be ruling over types of people. It's about classism today. It's about classism. That's what it's all about. But they want us to think that it's about race. This race against that race and this race. It's all an illusion. It's about classism at the end of the day. Keep the ones in the low levels fighting amongst each other, and while the upper class continue to maintain the status. People not gonna like that. The comment section gonna blow up on that one. Oh no. They don't have it. I never said they was equal to our problem. I never said that they are even close to what we experience as a people, but I will tell you that it's about classism. And at the end of the day, no matter how high one of our richest people or most influential people rise, there's going to be a ceiling. There's going to be a ceiling. You know, when you start to understand that there's a elite group of Europeans, Masonic, Shrindom, and secret organization, when you start to understand that, then you understand the levels to this. And one thing we're gonna have to do as a people, and I'm talking about you, Africans in America, we're gonna have to get that race thing out of our psyche and see people for who they are. When Martin Luther King said you got to judge people by the content of their character, that is serious. That is serious. That doesn't mean that, like Jeremy said, classism, and systematic racism. That doesn't mean that skin doesn't play a part in some of the decisions. But those are low acting people, the policeman and all that. That's the lower level. It doesn't mean it's not important. It is. That plays a part. But the bigger issue is the ones that pull the strings. It's the ones that create the policies and trickle down. And they create them from classism. That's how they create them. And guess what? Somebody just picked that, said Sharky Mayat talk about the Boule. So you got them, and then you got the Boule. You got that Masonic Shrindom, and then you got the Boule. That look like you and I, even talk like you and I. But they ain't you and I. And within that Boule, you got those spies, you got those agents, you got all of those people that you think is for you on the internet right now, got you in a dragnet. Romello said, I'm not an African in America, I'm colored, sir. You know what, Romello? Gonna be colored, man. We everything. We Moor, we Hebrew, we colored, we Negro, what else? We indigenous, we Indian, we got some stuff going on, don't we? Don't we, Romello? We got some stuff going on. I thought the indigenous thing was the correct term. Then somebody said, no, I'm an Indian. I'm like red dot of feather. I'm like confused now. I'm like, man, we got so many labels. I'm just like, I'm over it, man. I'm over it. I'm like, God. Negro, black, colored, African American, Afro American, Indian, Native American, Indigenous American, Afro American, black. I mean, that's 10 right there. And we can go on and on. How many names do an Italian person rock with? How many labels do an Italian person rock with? Man, we got tons of them. And we don't think that's by design. Oh, yeah. It's by design, all right. We are the original American, simple. If we are the original American, we never called this place America, or did we, Tony? So should we go by the term original American? See what I'm saying? Man, listen. When we come talking about getting what's ours, we need to leave these titles home. We need to leave all these titles and labels home. And we need to focus on the issues. The issue is class, and we need to leave all these titles home. That's right. We need to leave it all home. You can know that I'm a Moor, but you ain't got to know that it's going to influence the way that I move in such a way that it's going to be adverse to anybody else. Nah, we need to leave all these titles home, man. Let them go. Let them go and focus on the issue at hand. We need to focus on the issue at hand. When we start shouting, man, I'm a Moor. Everybody supposed to be a Moor because the Moors, man, that's the most ignorant thing I ever heard in my life. That's the most ignorant thing I've heard. That's just like a Chinese person saying, everybody Chinese because the oldest civilization that I can remember is China. And then somebody come out, no, you're wrong. Everybody's Egyptian because the oldest civilization I can remember is Egypt. Oh, no, you're wrong. The oldest one is Sumer. Oh, no, you're wrong. How long that going to go on? While you doing that, you know what they doing. You know what they doing. So at the end of the day, family, you can call yourself and identify how you wish to identify yourself. I identify myself as a Moorish American through research, through study, and through the energy in which I envelope. I wrap myself in that energy. But that's me. That's me. I don't expect everybody else to be me. But when it comes to the situation of dealing with this thing called oppression, man, I leave my label at home. At the end of the day, we are all spirit and a part of the universal energy. I might call that energy Allah, you might call that energy Jehovah, or you might just call it energy. We are all a part of that universal energy. When we look in the eyes of one another, we should be able to see that. If you look into the eyes of someone and you don't see the divine in them, then you just get away from them. But this struggle here, we're going to have to start seeing each other alike beyond the physical characteristics and look at the issues. Take note of the physical now. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Take note of it. But the issues is what we need to know. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And you can't convince everyone. Got to get with like-minded people. And that's always been my thing. But with that being said, family.
That's right. Global African supremacy. That gas, baby. Got to have that gas. You gonna make it move.
Got to have that gas, family. I'm about to get out here, family. I really came in here to check out my new the doc told me I needed to get my mic right. Nah, doc ain't tell me that. Doc said, listen, we gonna do a podcast. We gonna have matching mics. You know what I'm saying? How my mic sound, family? How my mic sound? I wasn't going to go another day without going live without checking out my mic. I'm about to do a day show too, family. Oh, yeah. I'm about to do a day show. I might be just mumbling. I might be mumbling like Biden on my day show. I'm going to do a day show too, man. I got stories that I see every day I want to speak on. How my mic sound? I mean, I'm telling you, I'm going to do a day show. Listen, so many things be happening that I would like to speak on. And I got to go to a day show. I got to do a day show, family. You know what I mean? That's right. I'm like Sharky Mayat. Cut the bread. I want my check, and I want mine too. Family, I appreciate y'all, family. So be prepared next week for my day show. I'm going to go like 3 times out of the week on next week. Thank you, family, for confirming the mic is all right. Hey, give the honor to Dr. What's that doctor name that come on the show sometime? I forget his name. Y'all know the doctor come on the show. He a real doctor. What his name? Dr. Assar. Dr. Assar. Dr. Assar. Give him the credit because he said this the one that I need and this the one that we need. So I'm going to give the credit to Dr. Assar. That's what he told me. You know what I mean? It make my raspy voice sound smooth like Billy D. You know what I mean? Yeah. I listen to it on pre-record, but if you hear it like I heard it, then I say, okay, Dr. Let me see. Dr. you get 1 and carry the 2. divided by 1. I got you on Hotep Day. I got you on Hotep Day, Doctor. So on Hotep Day, I owe you a gift. Hotep Day. That's right. We're going to Hotep you down with a kente cloth bow tie. That's right. We're going to Hotep him down with a kente cloth bow tie. That's right. That's right. I'm signing off. I'm Ashe Bay. Ashe? Ashe Bay about to sign off, man. That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, Hotep. That's right. Everybody will get Hotep kente cloth. That's right. Bow ties and handkerchiefs. That's right. If you want one, stick around for the Hotep Day. You probably stick around for the Hotep Day.
Grace and peace, family.
That's right. Global African supremacy. That gas, baby.
That's right. That's
Got
right.
to have that gas.
But with
You
that,
gonna make it move.
y'all got me? So peace and love, family. Let me get out of here, man.
I got the Moorish warlords with Moroccan sharp swords, Ethiopians with white face camouflage.
They sing it to the choir. They all
That's my song right there, family. Let me run it back. Thank you, Romello. Romello. This is my song
check
here,
1
man.
2.
Ephraim.
Check 1 2.
Thank you for your support, everybody. M. Nugent.
Y'all ready?
Starlight.
I'm ready.
Demetrius.
Check.
Everybody, Celine.
Let's go.
Sharky Maya, let's go.
I refuse to believe that I became conscious to catch cases, nor did I come to agitate the races. I came to elevate us to much higher spaces. They tried to erase us and ultimately replace us. They let the Mexican in, they cry about the border. Moors claim they own the land but can't produce their own water. Moors been out of order since the time of the prophet. Dropping all this knowledge but still act toxic. Boy, they need to stop it. They sing it to the choir, they all blatant liars. They broke down and tired and they leave us uninspired. Drew Ali is the Mahdi, the prophet and the Lord, not Elijah or Farad. So let's stop with the facade. Who told us we was God and Father God Allah? Who told us about the Elohim and the carjacking? Who told us we was God, not the macro God, but the microcosmic God, the children of Allah. This ain't no agitated speeches. I pray the truth reaches. The Moors, we are rich, we ain't no poor righteous teachers.
Billy Jeff in the building.
I wish a Creek would try to label us destitute. We are resolute. For years I would listen how they undermine the prophet, but now I'm here to challenge all the lies and the gossip. We only want the truth with proof, nothing less. Been through the dismal crypts and I passed every test. Been to the lowest depth, on my way to the highest height. Ain't nothing you can do to stop this rain or this fight. Only thing you can do is give up the prophet and save your soul. And know for sure I'm guided from the plane of soul. I get my nourishment from the ether plane where I dwell at. I'm on higher, lower than the worm. Where hell at? Now run, tell that. Y'all been doubting the prophet way too long. Already know. And I can't stand y'all that hate it. Try to bury the prophet. Oh yes they did.
You know they did.
Well, guess what? We back.
We back, family.
Yeah. The 7 creative spirits. Yeah. We back. So, you thought it was over. You thought it was over. It's never over. It's never over. You thought it was over. You thought it was over. Truth don't die, pass away. It's never over. You thought it was over. You thought it was over. You thought it was over. It's never over. You thought it was over. You thought it was over. Truth don't die, pass away. It's never over. It's never over.
Thank you, Michael Connor, Crypto.
Never.
Thank everybody.
Never.
Peace and love, family. I see y'all Saturday. Let's get it.